back to another episode on To Me Live. Now, firstly, I would like to thank God for waking me up this morning and for giving me the opportunity to talk to all of you. Now, today we will be talking about a little bit of an interesting topic, and it is on control. Now, truth is, we can't control everything that happens to us. For example, we can't control the weather. We can't control whether it will be sunny or rainy, whether it will snow or hail. And something very interesting is that we can't control what people will do to us or what people will say to us exactly. But there is one thing we can control, and that is how we respond to what happens to us. That is the one thing we can control, and it's a choice. It's your choice. Now, I want you to picture two circles. If I can use an example of the makeup of the earth, we have the crust, the mantle, the outer core, inner core. Now, I want you to take the outer core and the inner core. Now, the inner core is everything you can control. It's the circle of control, your attitude, your emotions, your choices, what you do, what you choose not to do. That's the circle of control. But then we have the outer core, which is basically the circle of no control. It's disorder, it's everything is everywhere. People say what they want to you, do whatever, and you can't control that, But what is very important is that if we focus on the things we can't control, we'll eventually lose more control and we'll become the victims, because we'll be complaining about everything and everyone's doing this and everyone's doing that, and in that way we actually get the victimitis virus. Now, if you haven't watched that video on the victimitis virus, I advise you go and watch it now, because I'll be making reference to that video here and there, so you can go and watch that, and we'll wait for you to come back. Okay, if you're back, as I was saying, if we focus on the things that we can't control, we'll eventually become even more out of control and we'll become victims. Now, what I want you to do to prevent you from being infected with this victimitis virus is that you need to focus on what you can influence. Now, just think about that for a minute. Focus on what you can influence. It doesn't really make sense, and it didn't really make sense to me either until I, thought about it, I spelled it out, wrote it down a few times, and like, oh, okay, this is what it means, So you need to focus on what you can influence. Now, people who focus on what they can influence are proactive people. You might recognize that word. People who focus on what they can influence are proactive people. And these people have inner peace. These people are cool, calm, and collected. These people don't worry about what happens to them. And even if something unexpected happens to them, they bounce right back and they're ready for whatever comes. They stand ready, and whatever comes their way, they can defend it off, and they learn to live with what they can't control. That's something of proactive people. Why? Why do they do this? Because they focus on what they can influence. And now, proactive people may not like what happens to them at some point, but they know it's no use worrying over, because it's the circle of no control, the outer core basically. If something happens that you didn't expect, it's no use worrying over, because nobody expected that to happen. You didn't expect that to happen, and you need to be a proactive person rather than a person who plays as the victim. Thank you for watching today's video on To Me Live. I hope you were blessed and I hope you learned something. Please like, share, and subscribe, and comment.